I'm glad to be back with you once more this week. I'd like to lead off with an announcement, so to speak, of some activity at the State Farmers Market up in Raleigh. And the Farmers Market is a fascinating place to go to. There's food, there's a variety of fresh vegetables and products that you cannot find anywhere else. So this is a little something to look ahead to this week. The State Farmers Market hosts a harvest festival on Thursday, which is of this week. North Carolina Agriculture's Fall Bounty will be on full display at the State Farmers Market Fall Harvest Festival on Thursday, September 26th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. From pumpkins to apples and sweet potatoes to peanuts, the Garden Center area located just behind the State Farmers Market restaurant will be a hub of much activity. The Harvest Festival is free to the public and will incorporate games, information, and fun for both the young and the young at heart. Come taste some delicious sweet potato treats, sip on apple cider, try your hand at pumpkin chunking, grab some recipe cards for later, and learn about crops and products grown, raised, caught, and made right here in North Carolina. Experts will be on hand to talk about what grasses grow best in this area, how cotton is grown, and will provide the most up-to-date information for your next farm visit. It's the season of hay rides, s'mores, and apple and pumpkin picking on the farm, so the agritourism team has the inside scoop on hot spots where to visit. While you're at the market, enjoy lunch at the State Farmers Market restaurant, the North Carolina Seafood Restaurant, or the Market Grill, and pick up items on your shopping list. The market is full of fresh produce, muscadine grapes, pumpkins, mums, gourds, bales of straw, local cheeses and meats, seafood, crafts, baked goods, and more. The State Farmers Market is open year-round, offering shoppers locally grown fruits, vegetables, meats, cheeses, wines, and specialty foods, plus seasonal products from North Carolina nurseries, greenhouses, Christmas tree farms, turf grass, and sod. Hours are from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. daily. The market has free parking, is free to browse, and is located off of exit 297 on Interstate 40 in Raleigh. So there is a big occasion getting ready to take off and be featured on Thursday of this week. So if you're in that area, it would be worth your while to stop by and take in some of the sights and the activities and sample some of the good food grown right here in North Carolina. We are well into the tobacco harvest now, and the tobacco crop in particular in eastern North Carolina has suffered all kinds of issues and problems from the beginning, from the time it was set out until as we speak. It's been too dry at times. The heat has fostered a lot of premature flowering of the plant, and that is not good. And then the heat prevailed and premature ripening occurred. Then we've had excessive rain, particularly from Hurricane Debbie not long ago. So all kinds of things have happened, and here's where we stand, the best I can share it with you, reflecting the activity of the tobacco market from Georgia all the way to Virginia. To start off with, the marketing of it already has indicated that we will have a short crop, that the yield from down in Georgia all the way to Virginia will be less than what was estimated. Prices have been high at the warehouses in North Carolina that sell flue-cured leaf at auction. A representative of one of the warehouses, Tommy Faulkner, auction manager at American Tobacco Exchange of Wilson, tells us that sales at his house have gone very well so far. We have had good prices and high volume, he says. The quality is good. Our prices have been competitive with contract prices. At American Tobacco Exchange, it has ranged from $1.65 a pound to $2.55 a pound. Farmers seem to be well satisfied with the bids. There's been little or no rejection by farmers. Marketing this crop may prove quite a challenge since the volume seems certain to be quite short. This crop couldn't get out of its own way with the drought and then the hurricane, Faulkner said. Now we are looking at a very short crop. The auction warehouses serving flue-cured area are all in North Carolina, 2 in Wilson and 1 in Rural Hall. Rural Hall is not far from Winston-Salem. And this has served as a good alternative to our farmers to have a home or avenue to market some tobacco in addition to their regular contracting companies that they're dealing with. To look back on where we stand or where we started and where we are now, we'll go first to the Georgia-Florida belt. Georgia-Florida were probably the states worst hit by Tropical Storm Debbie. Most farmers will be significantly short of pounds, said J. Michael Moore, Georgia Extension Tobacco Specialist. We have about 50% of what we should have. Every tobacco county in the state was affected. We had very powerful winds in Florida. They got up to 80 to 90 miles per hour. The winds stripped leaf off the stalk, and sometimes the whipping effect caused premature yellowing, he said. Moving along to South Carolina. In South Carolina, where the damage to Debbie was nearly as much as the Georgia-Florida area, harvest is now wrapping up. I would expect barns to be unloaded by the end of this week, if not sooner, says William Hardy, South Carolina Extension Tobacco Specialist. It is not a crop farmers will remember with affection. Dry weather earlier on in the season stunted the crop, but rain in mid-July turned it around, and we were in good shape, except for some soil-borne disease pressure. Then Tropical Storm Debbie arrived, causing bad losses of yield and quality. I would estimate there was 40 to 50% crop loss from the storm, he says. One cheery note, despite the challenging season, this crop seems to be moving well into the markets. That is, it's bringing a good price. In North Carolina, there was a lot of tobacco still in the fields after Debbie passed through, says Matthew Van, North Carolina Extension Specialist. Deterioration was rapid in the worst areas, but the conditions stabilized thanks to cool weather, and the crop has responded very well considering the conditions. Some of the leaf that has been delivered has looked real good, Van said. We are starting to see distinct stalk separation and good color being delivered. I'm hearing that we have a good orange color in this crop. Most of the leaf in the field now is ripe and ready for harvest, he continues. Virginia suffered less from the tropical storm Debbie than other flue-cured states. Stephen Bartz, extension agent in Pittsylvania County, Virginia, estimated the losses in the south side caused by all the late season bad weather were from 10% to 15%. Now the problem is harvesting what is left behind, and the question is whether there will be enough time to get it all in. We will probably still be harvesting till October and maybe into November if frost holds off. The long-term average first frost date is October 15th, but in the last few years it has tended to be later. So that's a little bit of what's happening in the tobacco scene, and there continues to be some tobacco in the field all around Rocky Mount and up and down I-95, but it's coming out quickly. In reference to all of this, there was a very wonderful celebration in Wilson back in August that commemorated the 135th anniversary or birthday of the Wilson Tobacco Market. and there was a great celebration over there. And the Commissioner of Agriculture, Steve Troxler, gave a speech, and I was invited to do a poem, and I'd like to share that with you now. I titled it, The Wilson Tobacco Market, 135 Years and Counting. This is a tribute to the largest bright leaf market on earth, Wilson, North Carolina. This commemorates the 135th anniversary, commemorating or beginning in 1890 and leading up to where we are today in 2024. The sidewalks of Wilson are paved with gold, not from precious metals, however, but from tobacco's heart and soul. Diamonds and rubies pale, considering tobacco's worth. Here in Wilson, North Carolina, the largest bright leaf market on earth. Wide awake Wilson, where tobacco is bought and sold. Top dollar for the farmer is the tobacco market's gold. The old tobacco beacon continues to rise and shine, illuminating Wilson and Barnes's truck line. Truck lines providing logistical momentum, never late hauling freight, came North State and Old Dominion. Now the semi-truck is a stroke of luck every farmer soon discovers. Tobacco loaded on flatbeds, wrapped in tarps and canvas covers. The rooster on the water tank saying cock-a-doodle-doo, welcome farmers in years gone by to a market tried and true. Wilson is a magnet for the golden weed. All roads lead to Wilson is the tobacco market's creed. Tobacco came in pickup trucks and early on even cars into designated warehouses such as Wainwright's and Big Star. But the center brick warehouse was Wilson's favored pearl, its motto on signs and billboards proclaiming, "We lead Wilson and Wilson leads the world." The largest bright leaf market on earth, ever more reason to applaud its birth. Tobacco in Wilson is alive and well ever since 1890 and that first tobacco sale. Fast forward now to 2024, and you'll hear a myriad of stories of historic tobacco lore. This red letter day is no surprise, 135 years and counting of tobacco enterprise. Tobacco is part of our cultural diversity, compelling us to celebrate this special anniversary. Buried in the archives, a story I found, recalling that fateful day when the Queen of England came to town. There in the heart of Wilson, where tobacco buyers dwelled, they were adding up their orders for that day's sale. In between cups of coffee and multiple bowls of cereal, an order was seen in the fax machine requesting a purchase by Imperial. The order came from England, courtesy of BAT, but behind it all, as I recall, was the Queen we never did see. The sale that day was quite a show, performed by Dewey Gaskins of Calico. Dewey could entertain while at the same time prevail. Not only could he auctioneer, but he also led the sale. Dewey pitched the first pile at $2.05 a pound, and in no time the high dollar price was heard all over town. We never saw the Queen, she never did appear, but you could hear her name called out by every tobacco auctioneer. Her order was purchased sight unseen, operating under the auspices of Sold to the Queen. Looking back, may I pause for one quick look and peer into what I call my big tally book. Each page is a bona fide tobacco leaf with names of heroes I refuse to bequeath. Each name listed is important, no doubt. Forgive me if I leave a single name out. Here now I'll share a partial list. The mention of a name is all I insist. Names that I have committed to heart, starting with warehouseman Zeke Cozart. These names bring back memories and smiles. I remember Freddie Deans and Toad Lyles. Honorable mention that's up to par. Kay Fisher named her warehouse Best by Far. Another warehouse that garnered high marks, operated simply as Wilson's Bob Clark's. J.T. and Tommy Worthington, father and son, they always delivered and got the job done. And the list goes on. Teddy Lamb and Art Newton, Stumpy Windman and Buck Newsom, Tommy Faulkner and Billy Moore, Kenneth Kelly and Randy Barnes even up the score. I remember a gentleman of high acclaim, Standard Commercial was his domain. His warmth and humor were generous and real. There'll never be another Marvin Coghill. And also the auctioneers I revere so well, Al Whitfield, Ted Stone, David Griffin, and Russell Azale. The local merchants who helped grow our crops included Carol Coleman of P.L. Wood & Company and Carolina Chemicals' Bobby Sharp. Wilson and Mbaka are nothing new, just like Parker's and Bill's Barbecue. Mustard and Gravy had quite a show. It exceeded only by the gala with Perry Como. The Wilson Tobacco Market had a trusted advisor. Alton Boswell was the state market's sales supervisor. In summary, our market is now international, a reputation we cherish and deem substantial. Yes, 135 years is quite a score. Now we anticipate that many more. My time is up for the day. Thank you for allowing me into your homes. I look forward to being back with you next week. Have a good week and God bless.